So today we are looking at a deck that I think is really fun. So shout out to Samri from my Discord. I'll put a screenshot now for giving the idea. I think the idea was already in Japan. However, they kind of just brought it to my attention and made me remember because I am quite forgetful at things. Anyway, so this is the deck. The idea behind it is it's bunnies and bombs and bunnies, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, pipe bombs, right? Delivered straight to your door by Dusknoir. So the idea is you have many Dusknoir, you have bunnies, and you have very easy to power up attack that does very many damage. 230 damage for 1 energy is pretty decent, right? That's 1 energy, 230 damage. Might not sound great on paper because it is still a mega Pokemon that's giving us 3 prize cards. However, you can trade quite favorably with Dusknoir, right? Let's say Dragapult is a thing. Dragapult has 320 HP, 230 doesn't really mean shit to it. However, we plus 130 there, and bam, we're doing 360. 360 is a much better number. It's one-shotting basically every mega in the game, right? And that's pretty cool because we're giving up 1 prize card, sure, with the Dusknoir, but we're also taking 3 prize cards. So we're essentially getting a +2 positive trade for prize cards into megas and a +1 prize trade into regular EXs or stage 2 EXs, right? It one-shot every single like regular EX, and Gale Thrust in itself sometimes can just KO EXs that are basic, right? You can KO stuff like Ogerpon, you can KO stuff like Trapagos, you can KO stuff like Facetipity, and you don't even have to pop a Dusknoir for that, right? That's just straight up the bunny, right? No pipe bomb needed. And the idea behind the deck is you just set up a bunch of Dusknoirs, you play a Klefki obviously because the Psyduck can kind of ruin your day, and then you kind of just pop them all at the same time, board wipe your opponent, and then bam, job's done, right? Against Gardevoir, you set up a bunch of Dusknoirs, you just pop their entire bloodline, and poof, there goes everything, right? For the draw supports, the list that I saw originally was very different. It didn't have any draw supporters. It was relying on Mega Kangaskhan's and Enriching Energy. I kept the Enriching Energy. I think it's a cool little like addition to the deck with the Hildas. And you could run Prime Catcher. Prime Catcher is also a pretty decent card in a deck like this. I think Prime Catcher wouldn't be bad. I think you can probably cut it down on Night Stretchers. The reason is that you don't actually have to reuse these guys, right? After you pop 3 of them, it's usually enough. Since your line is so freaking thick, Night Stretchers just don't do anything. Night Stretchers can't get energy back, and if your Mega dies, you're probably losing the game anyway because you have to pop bombs in most games to win the game, right? So yeah, so the deck is pretty fun though. I played a few games off camera, just kind of tuning the list, and this seems decent, right? You've got your 4 Lillies, which is just the best draw support in the game, especially because you can enter the prize trade kind of later and just pop everything at the same time, which is a little bit more efficient than entering the prize trade early, giving up draw on Lillie, and also just not like board wiping them, right? This is a very much so board wipe deck. It's basically Dragapult as a stage 1, and has an easier way to get Klefki inactive because obviously you need to switch on the turn you attack with Gale Thrust, and ways you can do that is with the Jet Energy, right? Ways you can do that is with your 3 copies of Switch, right? With your Turo, and if you're playing against a deck that doesn't have Psyduck, you can push Dusknoir into the active, pop the Dusknoir, bring up your Mega Lopunny, and bam. The problem is that a good point someone made in the Discord was you don't need that many switches when you are playing Dusknoirs that are very easy to pivot to. And I would agree with that. However, a lot of decks right now, the top decks are running Psyduck, right? For example, the deck that just won the most recent regional was Tord Reklev with his Mega Absol, Mega Kangaskhan, Mega EX box, right? And that plays Psyduck, right? And the problem is sometimes it's very difficult to get the Klefki into the active without switches, right? You sometimes you might miss a few energy attachments per turn because you want to play something like a Lillie or a Boss's Orders, so you don't actually have access to your Hilda to draw into these cards. And something that happened was I slapped an Enriching Energy onto my Mega Lopunny, and I was busy saying, damn, this card is so cool, and then it got immediately enhanced, hammered off, and then I didn't have an attack for next turn because my Jet Energy couldn't be put on the Klefki because I had to attack with the Mega Lopunny if I wanted to pop the Dusknoirs and attack at the same time, right? And then obviously Ursaluna wasn't included in the original deck, but I think Ursaluna is just so good when paired with Dusknoirs and stuff. We are playing a very heavy Dusknoir line, so Iono is still good. Iono isn't a draw supporter in this deck, it's more so just a disruption at the end of the game. And yeah, Ursaluna can just kind of fix math because very easy attacker, right? Let's say your Mega does go down, and you don't have another one. That's why I'm playing a 3-2 line. I think a 2-2 line could be fine as well. In fact, I might change that to a 2-2 line. I think a 2-2 line is fine. The problem is obviously, well, it's already a problem because, you know, you might say you prize double Buneary or double Lopunny and you lose the game. Well, I would argue against that. I think Dusknoir can give you enough prize cards paired with Ursaluna as well. you should probably be fine. You have many ways to pivot your Ursaluna, right? You do still have Night Stretchers to recover. So it's not like you have to rely on the Mega Bunny. You can still use Ursaluna throughout the game. We're not playing fairs. We're trying to minimize our liabilities. So Latias is only there in the early game, kind of to just get stuff out of the active. But the thing is, Latias, not good. I would probably cut Latias. If anything, probably just cut Latias for a 4th switch card. It just does more, or even an air balloon, because then you can slap an air balloon on a Klefki and you don't have to worry about jet energy every single turn. But I mean, you're probably going to be doing jet energy anyway, right? I'm learning as we speak here, boys. So yeah. Anyway, the rest of the cards are kind of just consistency. You know, you want your 4 Rare Candy because you want to get these guys up and active quite quickly. You are still playing a 4-3-3 line because Dragapult is a thing, so you do kind of sometimes have to manually evolve into your guys. Other than that, we are playing 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Buddy-Buddy Poffin. This was 4 Nest Ball, but I think 4 Nest Ball was very excessive, and there's just not a lot of things you have to grab with the Nest Ball, right? In this deck right now, it's literally only these 2 guys that can't be grabbed with the Buddy Poffins, and I decided 1 Nest Ball is probably fine because you don't really need it that much. And then 3 Boss's Orders I think is perfectly fine because this is definitely a deck that you need to be a little bit more aggressive with. But the problem is with the Boss's Orders is that sometimes you need to use your Hilda or your Determination to actually set up on that turn and then pop the Boss's Orders. So maybe you could now say you cut the Latias for something like a Counter Catcher because Counter Catcher could be good with this deck. The problem is that we don't have consistent draw, so we kind of have to draw into the things like the Counter Catcher on the turn we want to attack with. But that's basically the deck, right? Enriching Energy is nice because of +4, just draw. It's the only like actual draw support we have on the turn when we are using like Boss's Orders. Obviously you do have to find it on the same turn, so I would probably cut the Latias. In fact, I will cut the Latias for a Counter Catcher, and I will cut one of these Night Stretchers for another switch. We'll go 4 switch and a Counter Catcher. I think that's fine. 4 switches seems fine. Cool. Alright, I'll see you guys in the games. Alright. The thing is the deck any good? That's the main question I have. Do we want to go first? No. Yes, we do want to go first. Going first seems perfectly fine in this deck. Means we can attack on our second turn with Gale Thrust. It kind of depends on our hand. Okay. Last game I opened 4 Lillie's Determination in my opening hand. This game I've opened 3, so I don't understand what's up with this game. But the variance is very shit. Like, it's been bad for a very long time. If any of you guys watched my game against Aban, the first game, I had like triple Ultra Ball, triple Night Stretcher, some shit like that. Like, the deck, the game just doesn't really like to give me various cards. It decides one card, and it gives me all of them at the same time, and decides that is the one you will be playing, right? And the thing is, there's a good argument to play the Hilda next turn. Instead, there is a good argument to guarantee a attack, because, in fact, I'm probably going to go with the Hilda. Thing is that we had a switch, dude. We play 4 switches. If we found any of our switches, then it would have probably been even better. Okay, Arvin, either of us in Gardevoir or the Horde deck, Mega Box. Either one seems fine as a matchup. Klefki kind of farms the Horde deck with the bombs, and Gardevoir just, yeah, you can probably board wipe them before they get anything meaningful going on. We'll see what we're versing. But yeah, right now, okay, I think we're versing Gardevoir. I don't think that, yeah, I think this is Gardevoir. Okay, that makes sense too. Yeah, that does make sense too. This Spike Myth, alright. Yeah, we're probably gonna have to Lillie's this turn then. Unfortunately, we will probably have to Lillie's this turn. Finding an energy would be really cool, to be honest with you. He does, speaking of energy, he whiffs it. Rare Candy, awesome, bro. That's exactly what we're looking for. Good shit. Another Rare Candy. Okay, well, we find the attack, which is really cool. It means I can get rid of this monkey here, which is nice. I'm gonna get rid of this and the Dusknoir and that. Get the Mega Lopunny. Evo this. Jet Energy. Gale Thrust. We can Pokégear now in case of a Badoo, and then just Gale Thrust 230. Ooh, that's honestly Pretty good. We get that sorted off next turn. We do need... Well, next turn we have guaranteed Klefki attack. Okay, he goes counter catch and Dusclops. It doesn't really matter to us. We do have the guaranteed attack next turn, which is pretty cool. He goes double Morgram Evo. I mean, we still have board wipe. He's gonna go Artazon. I mean, does he have a sport for turn? Is a question. Is a pretty good question. Because right now, he doesn't. Okay, we can kill both of these then. Nice. Ooh, that's even better. Okay, let's just go Artazon for the Klefki first of all. And then we'll go Hilda for Evo. Oh, well, actually, this and this. Jet up the Klefki. Evo this. Rare Candy. Evo this. Dusknoir. Pop that guy. Dusknoir. Alright, wait, I have to take a price card as well. I forgot, my bad. Night Stretcher, alright. Dusknoir. Pop that guy. I get to take another price card as well. Thank you. A Switch. Is Switch any good here? It is, because we get to preserve our Klefki energy, right? So we can Night Stretcher you back. Bench that. Retreat next. We have Switch. Okay, so yeah, this is better because we don't have much energy right now. So we can switch into the Lopunny. And then Gale Thrust. Knock out the Morgram. Leaving him on 2 Pokemon. Ourselves on 2 prize cards left. And our only card, well, another Jet Energy. Alright, so the switch didn't really matter too much, but it's fine. We'll take another Jet Energy. It just means we can reactivate the Klefki next turn if we need to, and which we probably will. And then we have Lillie's Determination, and Rare Candy Night Stretcher will win us the game. Yeah, Rare Candy Night Stretcher will win us the game. Cool. I mean, that's pretty good. We are out 1 of each, so we have 2 more stretches and 3 more candy. Yeah. I mean, it's not that bad, right? Decent odds. We have the guaranteed attack with Gale Thrust anyway, with the Jet Energy, and then just Lillie's is pretty good as well. Artazon won't find us. Artazon will find us shit. Artazon will find us another Duskull, and getting another Duskull is perfectly fine, yeah. Honestly, from what I've seen so far, I kind of like it. This seems pretty good. That was our second turn of attacks, and we are on 2 prize cards already. And we've kind of just completely shut them out of the game. And that is not going to do too much. My sincerest apologies. Dude, what the wide balloon? Yeah, that's not going to be doing too much. We have quite a few ways to deal with that corner. Unfortunately, this is probably the only deck in format that plays quad jet, quad switch. So, apologies. Okay, Rare Candy's fine. It's just going to be shuffled back into the deck, right? We'll get another Duskull. Okay, have you ever seen double Jet Energy on Klefki? Could I interest you in double Jet Energy Klefki? Okay, no Night Stretcher though. Kinda sucks. Not that big of a deal though. We can just kind of pop this. Right, KO, Gale Thrust, 230. Goodbye Maractus. Next one we have Switch. And then the Retreat. And even if he does Devo and KO us, we still have many ways to win the game. We have Ursaluna off of the Ultra Ball. We have Hilda for energy. And Bomb. We have Bomb and Ursaluna for game. Cool. Night Stretcher, so it's pretty good. Night Stretcher would do it for us. I mean, that's all considering he has the TM Devo and stuff to kill us, right? If he doesn't, then I'm feeling even better. Then I am feeling even better. Also, like, up depends on, like, oh, he's gonna go for the... Is that Chaos? It misses by 10. Oh, shit, dude, that sucks. Bloodmoon. Okay, well, I mean, we just win here, right? We have it in hand. GG's. 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 Right, I mean, we can Enriching Energy because it's funny, and I get to draw cards, right? And that's pretty cool. Shout out to drawing cards. We still whiff the Night Stretcher, though, which is kind of funny. Anyway, get rid of this. Ultra Ball, grab the Dusclops. Evolve this. Switch into Klefki. Cursed Blast. The Ursaluna. We could have just bossed up the Snorunt, now that I think about it. But that's cooler anyway. We get to use more pipe bombs. And pipe bombs are epic. In-game though, in-game. Anyway, that was pretty good. Alright, yeah, I'm probably gonna leave it there. I think the deck's fun. Deck's pretty cool. There was one other change I made. I think I cut the other, I cut down to a 2-2 Buneary line for the things. And yeah, that's not bad. That feels actually pretty decent. All right. Also, completely random thing. If anyone knows how to design logos and stuff, I'm trying to rebrand the channel and Discord and stuff, and I would like to work with you. It would be paid work, right? I'm trying to rebrand a little bit more into something a bit more like recognizable, because right now I don't really have a brand. My profile picture is comfy. My profile picture on the Discord thing is the Terrapagos Area 0 theme, but I'm kind of trying to what? I'm trying to get a more like noticeable brand going, right? So we can later on evolve into something bigger. But yeah, if you guys wanna work with me, let me know. Leave a comment or send a DM on Discord. Add me on Discord. I'll leave my Discord link below. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. And stay safe, stay warm, or if it's hot where you are, stay cold. Peace.